2017. One of the best years video games have ever seen. A non-stop barrage on the senses with great title after great title month after month. From the minute Resident Evil 7 rose from its franchise's ashes, the foot was on the throttle and this highway stretches far beyond the horizon. From surprising new IPs, new hardware, and the reinvention of old favorites, 2017 seriously had something for everybody. Trying to shake a year like this down into a list is almost always a struggle, especially in a year where we got not only great games, but a handful of potential all-time favorites. But it's time to find out which releases made their way onto my list. These are my 10 favorite games of 2017. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Bill, how the fuck did a Skyrim get on here? Out of everything released in 2017, you put a Skyrim on your list? And my response to that is you have not lived until a giant launches you into the sky in VR. Skyrim VR manages to present an experience so unlike any other re-release and repurpose of Skyrim in the last 6 years that it easily classifies itself as a 2017 release. Helgen's Demise, your first trip into Riverwood, hell, even seeing Bleak Falls Barrow for the 1000th time feels just like the first in Skyrim VR. Using the move controllers to represent your hands creates a sense of immersion that will make you very reluctant to play Skyrim any other way. Facing down a dragon, blasting it with fire as you slash away, is the ultimate VR power trip next to Superhot, and has to be experienced. What Remains of Edith Finch is a narrative game that I will happily recommend to anybody, whether they like walking simulators or not, and that's because of how well it engages you in the story that it's telling. It does this by giving you direct control over its most poignant moments. You are the sole survivor of the Finch family, returning home to learn the secret your deceased relatives left behind. You do this by peeking through the left-behind belongings scattered throughout the house, triggering these unique vignettes that serve as memories seen through the eyes and words of whom they belong to. This is what allows Edith Finch to stand so tall in a year so big. Every memory and tall tale placed before you present unique perspectives and ways to play them, and help engage the player beyond just clicking a button to hear a glorified audio log. It's this extra effort that makes Edith Finch a devastating story that I won't soon forget, and am very grateful to have experienced in 2017. Wolfenstein II is the kind of cathartic experience video games needed after having to look at actual dumb fucking Nazis on our real news broadcasts in modern day America. But Wolfenstein II is much more than just turning Nazis into soup. In fact, it's much more than that. I would even go as far as saying Wolfenstein II does a better job at telling a story than it does being a shooter. Not that the shooting is weak, just that the story is that much better. Starting back with the first game, Wolfenstein The New Order, Machine Head have went in a delightfully introspective direction for its series protagonist, BJ Blazkowicz, clashing insightful commentary on the world around him with the fast-paced hell of a good time shooting the series is known for. They're not afraid to subvert expectations and create memories that are completely off the fucking wall. And it's really hard to go into more detail with that without spoiling the game, so I will just close with this. Wolfenstein 2 probably has the most batshit insane hour sequence in any video game I have ever played in my entire life. Bank on it. "2017 is the precursor year to Battle Royale becoming the standard mode in every AAA multiplayer title going forward, so look out E3 2018, and thanks PUBG. Now I know for most people, PUBG is what's going to make their list. For me personally, I haven't got a chance to play PUBG. My PC is old and I don't have an Xbox, so my only time spent with this genre has been through Epic's free addition to Fortnite. Fortnite's Battle Royale mode has made a solid name for itself, though, being the first Battle Royale game to consoles, and a free one at that. But that isn't the only reason it has grabbed and hooked millions of players in such a short time. Free certainly helps, but it's the fast arcadey nature, mixed with Fortnite's signature building and destruction mechanics, that help Fortnite's Battle Royale offering carve out its own niche on the genre. Being able to build cover, steps, and forts on the fly add a ton of depth to the formula and have you constantly thinking on your feet. The thrill of making it to the final circle is some of the most compelling video game drama of the year, as I'm sure PUBG players would agree, and that rush of just one more match is strong with this one. I will absolutely be playing Fortnite Battle Royale long into 2018 and beyond. Neo combines some of my favorite elements of Diablo and some of my favorite elements of Soulsborne and mashes them up with a combat system that can only be described as pure fucking bliss. Team Ninja rolled out a new IP in one of 2017's best games with style and grace, embracing fan feedback through multiple alphas and betas up till release, and gracing me with combat that I hold as near and dear to my heart as Bloodborne's. Boasting an extensive loot system with crafting and rare sets, Neo has something to hook someone like me that other games under this umbrella don't. In addition to mastering the blistering fast combat mechanics, Neo's constant barrage of loot might be a turnoff for some, but me personally, I love scouring my inventory after a chapter to compare every single thing I've picked up with what I currently have equipped. Stellar post-launch support and more content than you could ever ask for, Neo will have me playing probably till I die. Or I guess until the sequel comes out. I hesitated to buy The Lost Legacy, and if you were to ask me why, I probably wouldn't be able to come up with a satisfying answer, and I would just hate myself more for putting this off for so long. I felt full and satisfied after last year's Uncharted 4, with Nathan Drake's journey coming to a close. I was ready to move on to whatever Naughty Dog had up its sleeve next. The thought of an Uncharted game not led by Nathan Drake and Sully was just a little strange to me, especially as somebody who, before playing Lost Legacy, never cared too much for Chloe Frazer, and Nadine Ross' appearance in Uncharted 4 left a lot to be desired, as she was not really that memorable in my opinion. But I could not be happier to report that Uncharted The Lost Legacy is a top-tier, lean and mean Uncharted experience that every single fan should dive into. Chloe Frazer proves to be just as captivating and endearing as Nathan Drake and made me a believer, and Nadine Ross is a new favorite of mine, both showing the world that the Uncharted name can live on without its leading man. With an open world chapter full of quiet and thoughtful moments to some of the greatest set pieces in the series, Uncharted The Lost Legacy is one of my favorite experiences of the year.
My God, are you seeing this? You know, at this point, I've run out of words. Holy goddamn shit. Nice work.
Mario Odyssey has an entire world made of soup. Horizon Zero Dawn is a game that I had to force myself off of most evenings. A beautifully realized new IP from Guerrilla Games with some of the most gorgeous environments and enemy designs in any open world game, not only this gen, but ever. I swear I spent as much time in photo mode as I did in the game, taking advantage of the Decima engine to make myself feel like a real-life Peter Parker. From the always engaging combat and its never-ending gambit of tools, weapons, and gadgets, to the quiet moments of gathering in the wild, Horizon Zero Dawn never felt like just another checklist. From the opening notes of Horizon Zero Dawn's haunting main theme, I was sold on Aloy's story and this world, peeling away each corner like an eager child on Christmas morning. The truth behind Horizon's old world and the discoveries Aloy shares with the player over the game's 40 to 50 hour run are among the very best in gaming, and one that I was very grateful to have this year. I think I can confidently say that Persona 5 is the most stylish video game ever created. It's a game where you could probably pick through every frame and see where it's been touched by an artist. No element of the game's presentation is half-assed, and this is on top of everything else the game does so well. Gifting the player with a cast of characters that you'll truly miss after the credits roll is something a lot of big RPGs try to do, and will oftentimes try too hard, whereas the Persona series seems to do this effortlessly time and time again. Agonizing over the passage of time might be crushing in the real world, but in Persona 5, it's turned into an addicting bundle of joy. Choosing whether you want to go eat a tire-sized burger or hang out with the only choice for romance, Makoto, is always a struggle, but it creates a civilization-like hook of just one more day, making the 100-hour experience fly by. While some of the later palaces can start feeling like a slog, no other game released this year can hold a candle to the variety of activities placed before the player in Persona 5. Except for my game of the year. I've said a lot about Yakuza 0 this year, whether it be on the show, on Twitter, in real life. I have not stopped bothering people about this masterpiece of a game since I finished it earlier in 2017. And this has kind of left me sitting here wondering what I should say about it again in this year wrap-up video. I tried sitting down to write about it. I've tried putting it all into words again, but it's very hard to pinpoint exactly why I think Yakuza 0 is a perfect video game in such a succinct amount of words. The Yakuza series is known for its dramatic, twisting narrative, and it's also known for its ridiculous, silly side content. And the reason it's known for both of these is that neither one of them diminishes the other. You often have a lot of games where the side content does not fit the tone of the main narrative, or it might not fit the pacing of the main narrative. Whereas Yakuza 0 manages to do this delicate dance where after you experience an absolutely gut-wrenching revelation, you can leave that and go hire a chicken to work for your real estate firm, or help a living statue buy time to take a piss. And none of that ever feels out of place, even though it is so different tonally from what you just experienced in a story chapter. The main protagonists take these things so seriously. They take these ridiculous side events as seriously as they take their conflicts in the main narrative. And that's what makes them so believable and makes them so enticing to seek out. I could honestly sit here and talk about Yakuza 0 for days. It's very hard for me to try to formulate and funnel these thoughts into words or video at the moment, because all I really want to say is that whoever you are watching this, please make it a point, if you have not done so already, to play Yakuza 0. It is the perfect jumping on point for the Yakuza series, and they just released Yakuza Kiwami a few months ago, which is the remake of the first game, which serves and was developed as a sequel to Yakuza 0. There has never been a better time to journey through Kamurocho as Kazuma Kiryu, and I love this game. It is my favorite game of the year. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It's one of my favorite narratives in gaming this year and probably this gen. It has some of the best acting, some incredible facial animation work, this beautiful build-up and tension and these intertwining paths between its two protagonists. This game is a masterpiece, an absolute bona fide 10 out of 10, and I am so glad that the Yakuza series has not only gotten the attention it has so long deserved here in the West, that I am seeing Yakuza 0 on quite a few people's Game of the Year list because it so rightfully deserves it, and you will not be disappointed in this game, I promise you. You will enjoy kicking ass, you will enjoy helping lives, you will enjoy the narrative placed before you, and you will fucking enjoy Goro Majima because he is the best protagonist of 2017. Easy! And with that, I'm going to let this video play out with the intro video to Yakuza 0. Have a wonderful rest of the year, everybody, and I hope you all have a great 2018, because the Permadeath podcast sure as shit will. See you around, everybody.